I apologize to Laker Nation. Y'all are serious contenders. If they don't make mistakes, they're going to get good shots. The Lakers are not full strength.
Charles Barkley did not just roast the Lakers. He pretty much said what a lot of people were already thinking out loud. The Lakers can still sell their history. They can still push that purple and gold legacy. They can still market LeBron James being LeBron James. And they can definitely sell the dream of Luka Doncic leading the next chapter. But one thing they cannot keep selling is confusion dressed up as a championship strategy. That is why Barkley's comments hit so hard. He was not just cracking jokes for TV. He was looking straight at the situation and saying, this is not a serious contender. This is a franchise stuck between honoring the past and building the future. Those words landed because they touched on a problem that fans have been debating for a long time. And whenever Barkley brings up LeBron, the conversation instantly becomes much bigger than one season in Los Angeles. With LeBron, every move turns into a legacy discussion. Every playoff exit becomes another chapter in the Jordan debate. Every trade that does not work, every coaching switch, and every question about the supporting cast somehow gets connected back to his name. Barkley understands how that works, and that is why his latest comments carried so much weight. He was not claiming LeBron cannot play anymore. He was saying the Lakers are no longer built around his timetable, and acting like nothing has changed only makes the drama even louder. It all started with Barkley looking at the Lakers and basically saying that LeBron staying in Los Angeles does not really solve anything for either side. In Barkley's eyes, the Western Conference is packed with dangerous teams. The Lakers are not close enough to the top, and the franchise already revealed its real plans when it brought in Luka Doncic. That is the part that flipped the whole story, because the second Luka arrived, the Lakers stopped being just LeBron's team trying to squeeze one more title out of the final stretch of his career. Instead, they became a team trying to build around a younger superstar, while still carrying the pressure, salary, spotlight, and expectations that come with having LeBron James on the roster.
Somebody else's fault. And it bothers me. Listen, you don't always blame other people for your...
That balancing act has turned into a tricky situation that keeps raising more questions than answers. And Barkley's message was simple, but it packed a punch. LeBron is not getting younger. The Lakers are not magically becoming deeper because of emotions and memories. And Luka is not the type of player you bring in just to stand in the background. A franchise star like that is supposed to be the centerpiece, not the side attraction. Barkley basically looked at the whole setup and said, pick a direction. Either this is Luka's team now, or the Lakers are going to waste another season trying to make two timelines work at the same time. That statement might sound rough, but plenty of people around the league have been wondering the same thing. The numbers make the conversation even more interesting. The Lakers were not some terrible regular season team. They won 53 games, stayed near the top of the Western Conference standings, and had enough star power to keep everybody watching night after night. They were good enough to stay relevant, but questions about their ceiling never really disappeared. LeBron, even at 41 years old, still averaged more than 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists. Those are not numbers from a player who cannot contribute anymore. Those are still impressive numbers from someone who has spent more years in the NBA than some current players have been alive. That alone is wild when you think about it. But Barkley's argument was never about whether LeBron is still a great player. His point was about whether LeBron is still good enough to be the main reason a team survives the brutal Western Conference. And that is a completely different discussion, because out west, being good is not enough anymore. You have Oklahoma City flying around with young legs and elite defense. You have teams built with size, speed, shooting, and deep rotations. You have younger stars who can stay on the floor for huge minutes and still attack aggressively late in games. The Lakers have star names, but playoff basketball does not hand out wins based on reputation when everybody starts feeling the pressure and rotations become tighter. That is exactly why Barkley's comments sounded harsh, but not completely out of nowhere. He watched the Lakers get exposed in the same weak spots that people had been pointing out all season long.
Let me tell you that. LeBron's wearing down. You know, I saw all these idiots and fools on television. LeBron's playing great for a 41-year-old in game 1 and game 2. And he played great in game 1 too. But when you get older, the longer a series goes, his efficiency is...
Those concerns did not suddenly appear overnight. They had been hanging around for months, and when the postseason arrived, they became impossible to ignore. The center position became one of the biggest examples of the Lakers' messy situation. The organization tried to solve the problem by going after Mark Williams, but that move fell apart after the physical. Just like that, the Lakers were left scrambling with a roster that did not fully fit the stars they had already committed to. And that setback only added more noise to a team that already had enough questions surrounding it. When you have Luka, you need a big man who can finish around the basket, protect the rim, and erase defensive mistakes before they turn into easy points. And when you have LeBron at this stage of his career, you need size and depth so he does not have to patch every weakness himself. Instead, the Lakers look like a team that spotted the problem, almost fixed it, and then walked into the playoffs with the same gap still sitting there. That is where Barkley's criticism of the Lakers starts connecting to his views on LeBron's legacy. Barkley has never believed LeBron's career should be judged only by stats and longevity. In many legacy debates, he has leaned toward Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant because, in his eyes, the LeBron era of team building comes with extra questions that cannot be ignored. He has looked at the super teams, the moves from city to city, and the pressure placed on front offices and said that has to be part of the discussion too. So when the Lakers look disorganized, Barkley sees another chapter in the same story. To him, this is not simply about saying LeBron needs more help. He has heard that argument for years and years. Cleveland needed more help. Miami was loaded with help. Cleveland got help again. The Lakers traded for Anthony Davis and captured a championship. After that, the Lakers kept switching things up, changing players, changing coaches, and changing the conversation every season. Now, after another major shift, Luka is in the building, and Barkley's message hits hard because it challenges one of the biggest defenses surrounding LeBron's career. At some point, if every situation calls for another move, another star, another adjustment, or another explanation, critics are going to ask whether that becomes part of the legacy as well.
To what I keep saying, the Lakers stink, plain and simple. We have to talk about them because the media is infatuated with.
That is the uncomfortable question Barkley keeps bringing back to the table. At the same time, LeBron's side of the argument is incredibly strong. He has stayed at an elite level for more than 2 decades. He has won championships with 3 different franchises. He became the NBA's all-time scoring leader, while also establishing himself as one of the greatest passers the game has ever seen. He has carried limited rosters, taken over playoff series, and stayed relevant through multiple eras of basketball. Most stars slowly fade away. LeBron's version of slowing down still looks better than what many starting players across the league can provide. That is why Barkley's comments always spark huge reactions. Even when people believe he has a point, the criticism is aimed at a player whose career stands in a category that is tough to compare with anybody else. Still, Barkley is not attacking everything LeBron has accomplished. He is focused on the current reality. And right now, the reality is that the Lakers cannot keep acting as if LeBron's presence alone automatically turns them into a championship favorite. Years ago, that kind of fear was enough to shake the entire league. If LeBron had another superstar beside him, everybody paid attention. But times have changed. The question is no longer whether LeBron can deliver a huge performance on a given night. The real question is whether he can provide 4 rounds of championship basketball while carrying a roster that still has obvious flaws. Barkley is basically saying the answer is no. Here is the part that does not get talked about enough. Luka's arrival did not just give the Lakers hope for the future. It also exposed an uncomfortable truth about the present. If Luka is the future, then everything has to revolve around him. The pace, the spacing, the center position, the defensive pieces, the salary decisions, and the late-game offense all have to match Luka's prime years. But if LeBron is still being treated as the main attraction, then the Lakers are trying to serve 2 different basketball realities at once. One path is about maximizing a 26-year-old superstar. The other is about honoring a 41-year-old legend.
Yeah, you would think with the veterans they have on this team, LeBron is smart, and a game of this magnitude, that they would consciously say, hey, we need to take care of the ball, it's a closeout game. Careless pass right there.
That sounds great in headlines and social media posts, but it can get messy when the games actually start. And Barkley has always loved taking shots at messy basketball situations. That has been his style for years. He jokes, he roasts, and he sometimes pushes things to the extreme, but underneath the entertainment, he usually aims at something real. With the Lakers, the biggest target is identity. Are they Luka's team with LeBron playing the role of veteran legend? Are they still LeBron's team with Luka waiting to become the next face of the franchise? Are they all in on winning right now? Or are they trying to make a smooth transition without upsetting anyone? Those questions continue to hang over the organization like a cloud. The problem is that the NBA rewards clarity, not emotional balance. The best teams know exactly who they are and what they want. Too often, the Lakers look like they are trying to protect every image and satisfy every storyline at the same time. That approach might sound nice, but championships are usually built on clear direction. That is why the legacy conversation becomes so intense, because Michael Jordan's case is built around dominance and finality. 6 finals appearances, 6 championships, no Game 7 in the finals, 1 franchise identity in Chicago, and a legendary aura that still shapes basketball debates decades later. Those points continue to carry huge weight whenever the greatest player discussions come up. LeBron's case is built differently. His legacy is based on longevity, all-around greatness, incredible consistency, and winning championships in multiple cities. But the area critics often attack involves movement and influence over roster construction. That is the lane Barkley keeps stepping into whenever these debates heat up. So when Barkley says the Lakers should hand the keys over to Luka, he is not only talking about roster decisions, he is reopening an old debate. Has LeBron's greatness required too much building and adjusting around him? That question might sound harsh, because every superstar in history has needed help to win. Jordan had Scottie Pippen, Phil Jackson, Dennis Rodman, elite defenders, shooters, and a system built to succeed. Kobe had Shaquille O'Neal, later Paul Gasol, and Phil Jackson once again. No legend wins championships by himself. Basketball has never worked that way. But Barkley's argument is centered on perception. Jordan's teams felt like a dynasty built around one unstoppable force. Kobe's Lakers felt like a mix of personality, pressure, and skill, but they still stayed connected to one franchise identity. LeBron's journey feels more like different chapters, and every chapter brings a fresh front office challenge and a new set of expectations. That does not erase anything LeBron has accomplished, but it gives critics like Barkley room to question how that greatness was constructed.
The season? Because they weren't no good.
Do you think they're good now?
I think they're solid. I don't think they're a contender.
Okay.
I don't think they're a contender.
But solid from you is a major upgrade.
Listen, man, they were awful. They were awful to start the season. They've been awful for the last 2 or 3 years.
And the Lakers are the perfect stage for that debate to blow up in a big way, because Los Angeles has never been a place for quiet transitions. This is the franchise of Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, and now LeBron James. In Hollywood, every change becomes a huge story. Every controversy gets amplified, and every debate turns into headline material. That is why Barkley's comments have created so much noise, because this situation is about far more than one season. It is about the direction of one of basketball's most famous franchises, and the legacy of one of the biggest names the sport has ever seen. Every superstar who puts on a Lakers jersey gets judged by championships, not regular season numbers. That is just how things work in Los Angeles. So when LeBron puts up impressive stats but the Lakers come up short, people do not say, "Great season for his age." They ask, "Did they win?" That is the pressure that comes with playing under those bright lights. Barkley understands that reality as well. In LA, nobody celebrates simply making the playoffs or surviving another season. The expectation is much bigger than that. The standard is championships and championship parades. Anything less usually brings criticism, debates, and plenty of noise. That is also why Luka changes everything. Luka is not just another talented teammate. He is a franchise reset button. He is young enough for the Lakers to build around for years, and he is skilled enough to carry an offense right now. But Luka comes with his own questions too. People talk about conditioning, defense, fatigue late in games, leadership, and whether his style can deliver titles at the highest level. Those discussions have followed him for years, so the Lakers are not handing the keys to a finished product. They are making a huge bet, and Barkley's roast hits both sides because he is basically saying, if Luka is the bet, then stop pretending LeBron is still the whole casino. That line cuts deep because it points straight at the biggest issue hanging over the organization. For LeBron, this creates one more major career dilemma. Does he stay in Los Angeles and accept that the franchise is slowly becoming Luka's team? Does he chase another championship somewhere else and risk giving critics more ammunition to say he always needed a fresh situation? Or does he finish his career as a Laker, even if the team is not viewed as a true title favorite? Every path comes with consequences, and every decision shapes the story surrounding his career. That is why Barkley's comments carry more weight than simple basketball advice. They force both LeBron supporters and his critics to ask what matters most at this stage. Is it loyalty? Is it control? Is it winning? Or is it protecting the legacy that has already been built over more than 2 decades? Those questions are becoming louder with each passing season. The crazy part is that Barkley might be saying what the Lakers front office cannot say publicly. They cannot openly announce that LeBron is no longer the centerpiece. They are not going to disrespect one of the greatest players in NBA history. They cannot make it seem like they are trying to push him aside, but their basketball decisions are sending signals that are hard to ignore. Luka is the future. The roster has to become younger, faster, and more balanced. LeBron can still contribute at a high level, but the franchise cannot keep designing every move around hoping for one more magical run. That approach becomes harder and harder with time, and everybody around the league knows it. Barkley simply said the uncomfortable part out loud on national television, and that is exactly why the story grabs so much attention. This is not just about Barkley delivering jokes or throwing shade. It is about a real shift in power taking place right in front of everybody. For years, LeBron controlled the room everywhere he played. In Cleveland, everything revolved around him. In Miami, even with Dwyane Wade and Chris Bosh, LeBron became the center of attention. During his second run with Cleveland, the organization moved in ways that matched his vision. In Los Angeles, even with Anthony Davis beside him, LeBron remained the biggest voice in the building. But now, for the first time in a very long time, another superstar has a timeline that matters more than his. That is not disrespect. That is age, business, and reality showing up all at once. Time catches everybody eventually, even the greatest names in sports history. And Barkley's legacy shot works because he is not claiming LeBron failed as a player. He is saying the LeBron era in Los Angeles has not delivered enough after the bubble championship to justify acting like everything is perfect. That opinion will definitely spark arguments, but it explains why his comments landed with so much force. Lakers fans can defend the 2020 title, and they absolutely should, because every team competed under the same circumstances. Nobody was given special treatment. Everybody faced the same challenge. But that championship also raised expectations to an even higher level. And ever since then, the pressure around LeBron and the Lakers has only continued to grow. After that 2020 championship, the Lakers have been stuck in a cycle of drama, injuries, trades, roster mistakes, playoff disappointments, coaching changes, and endless debates about who needs more help. Barkley looks at all of that and says, at some point, the story cannot always be about what LeBron needs. At some point, the story has to be about what the Lakers are becoming. That is what makes his comments so powerful, because they challenge the direction of the entire franchise. So the big question becomes, was Barkley roasting the Lakers, or was he warning them? Because if the organization keeps trying to balance nostalgia with reality, they could end up wasting Luka Doncic's early years in Los Angeles. And if LeBron stays, while the franchise quietly shifts toward a new era, the final chapter of his career could start looking uncomfortable instead of legendary. Nobody wants to see one of the greatest players in basketball history turn into a ceremonial figure on a team that is not close enough to compete for championships. But at the same time, nobody wants to see the Lakers damage their future because they are scared to have difficult conversations. That is the tension Barkley brought into the spotlight, and it has people all over the basketball world talking. He forced Lakers fans, LeBron supporters, critics, and the NBA media to stop hiding behind highlight reels and flashy moments. Yes, LeBron can still make unbelievable passes. Yes, he can still put up 25 points on the right night. Yes, he still brings leadership, star power, and worldwide attention. But championships are not won on respect and reputation alone. Titles are built on fresh legs, defense, depth, chemistry, and timing. And right now, the timing of LeBron James and the timing of the Los Angeles Lakers might no longer be perfectly lined up. That is where the conversation becomes emotional, because no matter which side people choose, nobody can avoid the reality that change eventually comes for every dynasty and every superstar. If LeBron leaves, critics will say he ran away from the transition. If he stays, critics will argue he is slowing down Luka's takeover. If he accepts a smaller role, people will claim the era is officially over. And if he pushes for more control, others will say Barkley saw this coming all along. There might not be a perfect ending to this story. There might only be the ending that creates the least amount of damage. But Barkley did what Barkley has always done. He removed the polite language and turned the Lakers' quiet problem into a massive national debate. That is why the conversation exploded. It is not really about whether Barkley crossed the line. The bigger question is whether he simply said something that many people were afraid to say out loud. Are the Lakers willing to fully become Luka's team while LeBron is still wearing the jersey? Is LeBron ready to finish his career without being the center of the basketball universe? And years from now, when people look back on this final Lakers chapter, will they see it as proof of LeBron's unbelievable longevity? Or will they see it as another piece of ammunition for Jordan supporters in the endless greatest of all time debate? Because if the Lakers choose emotions over direction, Barkley's comments will not age like some wild hot take that everybody laughs about later. They could end up aging like a warning that nobody wanted to hear at the time, and now the spotlight shifts back to the Lakers because the next move they make could shape not only the future of the franchise, but also the final pages of LeBron James's legendary career. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more NBA stories, breaking news, and basketball drama. Share this video with other fans and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Was Barkley just roasting the Lakers, or was he trying to warn them about what is coming next? We want to hear what you think. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.